I think we're hitting some slight technical difficulties on your end. If you got kicked out of the call.
Your audio isn't like the best, like very clear up here.
Sorry, I got kicked out on accident. But I was saying that today Monisha couldn't make it, and I'm just going to be filling in for her. And we'll be just starting as usual with our housekeeping announcements. So if I could screen share. Okay, so if this is your first time at UChamp, or you would like to invite one of your friends to UChamp, then you can use this first link, and I'll be sending that into the chat very shortly. And if you have any feedback for our programs, then you can use the second link. And as always, you can remember to be respectful by not interrupting and allowing others to speak if you've already spoken. And if you would like, you could rename yourself with your community next to your name so we know where you're from. And we also request you to turn on your camera so we can see you and have more of a personal touch. And with that, we'll just go into the rest of the program, which usually starts with a prayer. So can we have someone nominate someone else to make the prayer?
I nominate Upper May.
Second.
Did somebody say, was that my name?
Yeah, I think you were nominated to do the prayer.
I pray to Lord Nrsingadev that he protects us so that we may continue doing our devotional service, especially when the world obviously goes through its trials and tribulations, and that we may have a very successful UChamp today. Thank you for considering our request. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Upper May. And so the rest of the program will be consisting of shlokas, and then we'll read a verse, and then we'll have reflections. So Tulsi will be leading us into the CIQ.
Oh my God. If I could have screen sharing abilities, that'd be awesome. Thank you. All right, so this week's creativity inducing question is, sorry, it's a little different. It's not exactly a creativity inducing question, it's more of a reflection. So question is, what are your favorite memories from the temple so far? So you can submit as many memories as you possibly want. You can say them out loud by unmuting your mic. So raise your hand first, and then I can call on you, or you could also put them in the chat and I can read them out loud. Kana, go ahead.
Doing arti at temples.
That's a really nice, like, did you do the arti or like just like participating in arti, like singing?
Participating.
Nice. That's always really fun. And Avi said prashadam in the chat. I think that's almost always everyone's favorite part.
Yeah. Can I say one?
Go ahead.
So, well, I was thinking, like one of the times during Janmashtami, like I don't know how to describe it. One of the kirtaniers was singing, and I was just there, kind of like in a, not the front, not the back, kind of in the corner, at the Janmashtami kirtan, and the lights were off, and we were looking at the deities, and it was just like such a nice, blissful experience, and the kirtan was a rather slow one, more immersive, more meditative. So that was like really, really wonderful and touching to the heart.
It's a really nice memory. I have a similar one from Govardhan Puja just last year, and I was asked to sing Nishinga Arati. And the Govardhan table, like we had the little like Govardhan that you make out of like halva, and like everyone decorates it. So we had one of those, and it was like pretty close to like the temple like altar, but there's enough space between like the table and like the altar that like a couple of people could sit there. And so like everyone started doing parikrama, and because I was singing like Hare Krishna after that, they told us to like move in front of the table, but like the lights had turned off, so it was just like all the candles and all the offerings, and it was just me sitting there in front of the deities and like singing. It was beautiful. It's one of my favorite memories. And we have Ranjini. My favorite memory of the temple isn't necessarily the temple per se, but we had a Thanksgiving program, which was very nice since many devotees attended. That's really nice. Yeah. Sankarshan singing Namaste Nishinga in ISKCON Chennai. Wow, that's really impressive. That's really fun. Shitulasi. My favorite memories from the temple is kirtan and eating prasadam. Those are really good. Ranjini. Not to mention a lot of the amazing kirtans I've heard and been in. Yep. Kirtans are always so magical. It's like even if it's like one other person or like 1,000 other people, it's just it's so cool. Balaram, the Janmashtami grind from 8 to 12 of just kirtan and stories. Yeah, that's a very special thing. Niharika, go ahead.
I think a funny coincidence is also, I also sang Nursing Arti on Govardhan Puja, and it was like a really wonderful experience. And something I remember and that I'll always remember is when, it was really recent actually, Marj was doing kirtan after the program, and then he started singing like old Hindi song. Sorry, it was like, it might be like the Braja Pasha, and it was in that language, and it was so blissful. And then we were singing Radha Krishna Bobo, and then everyone just got up and started dancing, and it was just like heartwarming. And I think that same day or another day, we started reading Bengali verses, and then March called a Bengali Prabhu from our temple to like read in like the proper Bengali accent, and it was really, really entertaining. It was fun. Yeah.
That sounds like a really sweet program.
Yeah, it really was. I'm going to put the link in the chat if you want to revisit.
Awesome.
Yeah, like whenever a Bengali person recites, like the tune and the way it's said, like it's like, and the script is also Bengali, so how those both correlate, it just gives a very sweet feeling to the heart. I noticed that many times. Like I may read a verse, so normally from the Chaitanya Charitamrita or something like that, and I may understand. But if I try to read it using my like mother tongue accent, because I'm from the Odisha Bengal area, so I also have that accent sometimes. So whenever I sing like that, it actually sparks in many different, I don't know what to say, but like many different views of the verse you can say, or many different like just gives a lot of flavor and rasa to the verse.
Mm-hmm. There's a bit of a cultural background. I think that makes it really sweet. Upper maybe attending the ISKCON Mayapur morning program on Bhishma Panchaka. That's really exciting. I remember the first time I went to Vrindavan and I went to Mangala Arati. It was like February or so. It was right before Nityananda Tiradashi. We were actually in Vrindavan for Nityananda Tiradashi. And I remember like my feet were freezing cold. But like you're standing, it's jam packed. So like the rest of your body is really warm because all like the devotees' body heats around you. But your feet were like freezing cold against the tiles. But it was a really nice experience. Anybody else? More memories? I'd also like to say, like, all the kids would put up do dramas and plays when we were younger. We don't do them so much anymore now that we're older, but when we were really young, like we would do a lot of them. And it was like the best thing in the world. All the behind the scenes things are there's photos from that. It's a little crazy, but I think those are the sweetest memories I have from the temple. Nishila.
These are dramas that reminded me of a drama that most of the kids from New Golika did when in like 2018. I think we did Kurma Avatar. And I think that was the year where our dance teacher and our Gurukul teacher came back from Hawaii. So she conducted this huge Kurma Avatar drama. It was around like 50 minutes long. And it was literally amazing. It was like the theme for that year, I think, was the power of prayer. And she conducted two more of Lord Shiva visiting baby Krishna and Dhrumar's story during that year. And it was absolutely the best.
Yeah,
That sounds so much fun. Go
I
ahead.
could attest because I was in those dramas.
Oh my god. Some of us played like interesting roles and like it was
Yeah.
the most memorable for me probably because I had the role of Vasuki. So my mom had found this like giant black rope on Amazon. So she decided, why don't we use this? So the entire drama, I was literally getting pulled around. So it was very memorable.
Yeah, and I was one of the demons. So, and I was pulling Vasuki. So like,
And fighting the
yeah,
nectar.
so it was like a big thing, and then we had like this big skirt from under a mountain, and then we were rapping. Like it was like almost we exactly copied how they were doing the what do you call the pulling of Vasuki, turning the Mandra Ocean. It was quite interesting.
That sounds like a very interesting drama. I remember one of the first dramas that I participated in. I was really young. I couldn't have been more than like 6 or 7 years old. And we did like a whole dasa with our musical essentially. So all the older kids got to play like larger parts, but like me and this other kid who were like barely the same age, I was just rather Rani, and I had to sit on a little table like in the background and had my hand up like this the entire time. It was like just 10 minutes. I just had like this the entire time. So I remember that. I ended up playing a lot of villains in like Indra during like the Govardhan Leela and like just a lot of villains. So but once a friend and I were playing Arisha Short in a drama, so we had a black blanket over us. When Krishna killed us, we fell in different directions and Arisha Short was split in half. That sounds really cool. That actually sounds really, really cool. I remember we did an Ashingadev drama here one time, and they made like boxes and they stacked them all up together. They had like small boxes and they stacked them all up as like the pillar. And then like when Nishingadev exited, he would just like smash all the boxes apart. And so it was just like all the boxes went flying everywhere as if like the pillar had actually broken. So that was really cool. That sounds cool. I like that. Split in half.
Boxes sound so cool.
Yeah.
One story I mean, honestly, I have, but one thing that's common in every single Abhishek that we have at ISV is that all the little kids, or kids that are under 12, so now that age has been extended to like 15 almost, they all just rush up to the front and start grabbing at all the fruits and everything, and just like a mob standing in front of the deities, and sometimes you can't even see them. So it's not more of a favorite memory, but it is a very notable one.
It sounds really, really cute. Nisha.
Oh, that was from before.
Okay. So Garshan, you have lots of drama memories. Yeah. Dramas are very like memorable. I think sometimes you get scarred from them and sometimes they're just like really memorable. I remember I played a demon, one of the Sunday school teachers, she's like an artist professionally, and she had a professional artist friend come in and he like painted us as like the demons for like Nishingadev drama. So like we're the demons that were tormenting Prahlad. And all the little kids got so scared of us because it was like professionally, like we looked evil, like actually. It was great. I'm pretty sure they had nightmares. Kirti said the theater memories. Yeah, those are really nice. We have a tradition here, like Uppermay was saying, there's like a tradition for Abhisheks. We have a tradition here after we do the Red Theater is actually part of like a larger parade here. And so then we would actually, there's like this place that would like give out like free popsicles after the parade is over. And so like all the kids will like go rush over there and go get the popsicles.
I remembered another memory that was similar to the Korodar one. This was much more recent. This was from Janmashtami last year and Garu Purnima last year. It was the same drama done twice. We did the Muktasharita from Raghunath Goswami's play, and that was another funny one. This was much longer, like an hour and a half. And this time, instead of having all the little kids play, we had like the little kids from 2018 who are now like older kids kind of do it. And it was quite funny because since Chamika Mataji, who is the one who's directing it, she's also a dance teacher. So she had like all the dancers combined in it. So it became more like a dance drama, kind of like how musicals work, except with dance. And that was a pretty funny thing.
That sounds really funny.
Yeah, and I was similar there.
That sounds really fun. Balaram, there was once a Jagai Madai drama, and in the middle they dragged a kid into it and pretend harassed him up completely spontaneously. I'm pretty sure that kid was just it was the time of his life. Jamashmi memory. Kirti says Jamashmi memories where we would stay up until 12. Yeah. Those are really nice.
I was one of those kids. That same thing happened like in 2014 or 15, like at the temple. One of the um, devotees was doing kind of like a presentation, like a one-man thing presentation on Nrsimha Chaturdashi. And then when he was talking about Lord Nrsimhadev ripping open Prahlad, for no apparent reason, he just, not Prahlad, sorry, ripping open Hiranyakashipu. He, for, like, just out of the blue, he just picks me up, since I'm sitting in the front of the crowd, and he puts me on his lap, and he tries to, and he just acts like he is ripping me open. I was like 5 or 6 years old then, and had no idea what was going on at that time. It was a funny experience.
That's those are like the best ones. It's like you just didn't
That
expect
was
it,
so
but
funny. That
Wait, you
year,
were there? Nishala, you were
I
there?
was there in the back. I just like just got there. This is what we used to. This is really fun.
it sounds really fun.
I get why that stayed with you for so long. And then one of my favorite times, like it happens like annually or like more than that, is like initiations, like right before they say the names. Like everyone's so tense and like very excited what the name is going to be. Like some people have already guessed what it might be. And it's just an amazing time. And it's like full of adrenaline and like fun. And also like realization about how beautiful this process is.
Especially when one of your friends is getting initiated.
I know, right? It's amazing.
Or yeah, somebody you know, or yeah.
That was me online during last Vaisheshika Prabhu's Vyasa Puja. I think a couple of our friends got initiated. And so that was really exciting because like I was online, but like I was like a couple thousand miles away and I was still like, yes. So that's always exciting. Anybody else? Last call for memories from temple.
I think for me, the most memorable thing in like temple, at least in ISD, is summer. When like I don't know, like there's like 10 Mars that come like every summer. It's like Indra Mars, Gopaksha Mars, Radha Mars. I don't know, like so many Mars come in, and it's just like associating with them is really, I don't know, it's just really fun.
Yeah, that's really memorable as well. It's been sad that we haven't been able to have a lot of people come in for the last few years because of COVID, but now that things are sort of starting to clear up, I think it's going to get very, very exciting as people start to travel more.
Yeah, that's true because like whenever Satsanga was in like North Carolina area, many of the Kirtaniers and everyone they would come down here, including like Vaishnaga Prabhu, and it's always fun. But now like since COVID is there and Satsanga is not so much there, and then like even though they can come still, the COVID is there, and then like all those things and where various places they could go. And it's kind of like here and there. So hopefully everything settles down and we can get back to our like original routine of visitors. We usually used to have like at least one visitor, like every 2 months. But now we haven't had, we have only had one or two the past like 2.5 years. So
That's, yeah. Hopefully soon we'll have a lot more people start coming.
When Anami, you said summer, I thought